Hey guys, okay, we're going to continue on with our series for making the perfect 9mm round. You can see I have some different types of bullets sitting on the table and different types of powders. Here we have the berries. These are a plated bullet. Here we have the extreme. They're a plated bullet. The powders we're going to use are going to be Silhouette. Use some CFE pistol. Hodgins Tight Group, and my old standby, the XP100. Okay, for this, and hang on. We also have some Hornady and Sahara bullets, but we're going to go through those later. Right now, what we're trying to do is create the ultimate range round. We're going to be looking at the different types of bullets. These are both plated. They both look the same. I don't know if we can get that on there or not. We're going to try. Here, we'll put it right there. They're both plated, and so they're both very similar bullets. They're both very similar in cost. We're going to find out whether we like the extreme bullets or the berries bullet better. As we all know, on my range ammo, I always use the XP100. And the reason why is because I got a really good deal on that powder when I bought it. It's very clean burning. It's a great powder for the money. When you compare it to CFE pistol, if you put these two side by side and you shot these, you'll know which one you shot out of your gun if you shoot 25, 50 of them. Because this will be very dirty, and that'll be fairly clean. I mean, not perfectly clean, but fairly clean. So we're going to load up some berries copper plated, and we're going to load up some extreme copper plated, and we're going to use our XP100 powder, and we're going to make first the perfect range ammo. Okay, so what we have is we have 3 load manuals out here, and we also have the internet. Okay, on the berries bullets, Berry says the bullets can be loaded with any published load data for the 115 grain bullet. So we got 115 grain here in the Nosler book, we got 115 grain here in the Speer book, and we got 115 grain here in the Sierra manual. They recommend an overall case length of 1.130. Okay, so over here on the Nosler, let's see what they have a recommended case length. I'm not really seeing it on that page. Well, they're just going by a SAAMI spec overall case length of 1.169. We turn to this page. Nope, nothing really on an overall length of measurement there. Okay, so Speer, so Nosler doesn't really have anything. Speer, they recommend a maximum trim length on the case does 754, which we're in on that. Okay, but for their particular 115 grain load, they like on the round nose 1.125 to 1.135. And on the Speer, they're looking at 1.100. So there's some low data on there. So we'll try to keep it within those ranges. We'll pick the high. Looks like the low is going to be 1.100, and the high is going to be 1.135. Okay, on the extreme bullets, I put the extremes in a little container such as this because they come in a big box, and it's just easier to manage when they're smaller. They recommend that we use 5.5 grains of the Cap-X 100 powder for 115 grain round nose bullets, and they recommend an overall case length of 1.120. So that 1.120 falls within the 1.100 and the 1.135, almost in the middle. So that's the overall case length we're going to use. We're going to create, I don't know, probably six or seven with this bullet, 6 or 7 with the extreme bullet, 6 or 7 with the berries bullet, and we're going to go from there. Okay. So we're going to continue on. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got 15 rounds right here. First thing we're going to do is get our powder ready. I like to do 10. Okay. Put back in there. I'll do 1. Forgot to zero out the scale there. Make sure everything's 0. Make sure everything's stable, and it is. It's one of those lazy days here where I'm at. It's pouring down rain and it's cold, chance of ice. So right now everything is just kind of stuck inside here. On the digital scale, it's saying we have a 5.5, which if you remember, that's what Extreme recommended. That wasn't a very good powder throw there. That's what Extreme recommended that we throw on the 115 grain bullets, was the 5.5. And we're at 5.5 again. So we're going to adjust our beam scale. I like to use both the beam scale and the electronic scale. Once I get everything set up, I will use the beam scale to give me consistent accuracy if both of them are equal or fairly equal. And then what I'll do is just use the electronic scale after that, because to me it's just easier to have the electronic scale set back there and just throw a charge on there. Okay, so this one's throwing just about a half a grain under. So we're right at the 5.5, 5.4, 5.5 area. I mean, it's really close. And the scale on the back actually keeps bumping to 5.6. So I'm going to say that we're right at 5.5 and right at 5.5, right 0.5. So we're going to go with that. I have to leave it back in there. So 5.5 grains of powder. In these particular bullets. Okay, these all have already been primed. So we're going to go ahead and put our cap back on our powder. If I can get it back on there. And go ahead and load them. Pretty good lightning streak right there, just went across the window. I don't know if y'all can see that. Five, 6, and 7. Okay, we have 7 on one side and 8 on the other. All right, sorry about that. You know, I record these on my phones and sometimes I get phone calls. All right, so anyway, start back over on here. We're going to put the 115 grain extremes on this side. I might have to break this one up into a 2-part video. I think I'm still only able to record 10 minutes at a time. And to me, 10 minutes at a time is enough. Probably get tired of watching me more than 10 minutes at a time anyway. And of course, I always have one that tries to jump out of my hand. All right. These berries have some kind of like little coating on them or something. They're slick little fellers. I don't know if it's some kind of oil on them or what. But anyway, they look a little shinier. Okay, like I said, let me try to find information again. Makes for a good video, back and forth. All right, so Extreme recommends with CapX recommends with the Extreme bullet that we load at 1.120, and Berries recommend use any load data you want, but they recommend the overall case length at 1.130. So to split those would be 1.125. So we're going to go 1.125 on these. Okay, so we need to turn out our micro adjustments. And go ahead and see some bullets. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get this adjusted where they're all at 1.125, and then I'll come back. Okay, we're back. While I was sitting here reloading these, when I first started seating these, let me go check this. 1.127, 1.125. When I seated the Extreme bullets, I seated those at 1.125. Well, when I was seating these with the exact same depth, I was getting a little longer case at 1.129, 1.128. So I took a Berries bullet out of the Berries box here, and I measured it, and on average I'm getting 0.558 in length, and on the Extreme bullet, when I measure it, I'm getting 0.552, 553 in length. So there is a big difference in length of the Berries bullet over the Extreme bullet. The Berries bullet are about 5 thousandths longer, which is kind of neat. Thought I'd go ahead and throw that in there. So that's probably the reason why they recommend a longer overall length than the Extreme. So to try to get two equivalent rounds at measuring at 1.125, I guess it's not really going to be the way to go there. What we'll have to do on this particular load later on is when we redo it again, we'll have to do the Extremes at the Extreme length and the Berries at the Berries length. But you know, it would be nice to have one length that we could use both, and that is right in the middle. So we're gonna run with that. Okay, when I go to my crimp die, I use the Redding crimp die. It works a little different on the different lengths and bullets. So I'm gonna make those adjustments. I'm gonna go ahead and crimp. Normally after I crimp, we'd be done. And I just run out there and shoot them and see how they worked out. But right now it's raining, so I'll show you all another little trick just as soon as I get back. All right. Kind of upsetting that I can't go out and shoot these after I make them. That's the way it works out though sometimes. All right. Now I have all these crimped. On my crimps, I just like to use a little minor kiss crimp, just enough to hold the bullet in there. Okay, then what I like to do is I like to take some Sharpie markers. Now, there's several ways of doing this, and I don't know if these are going to hold on to these Extreme bullets. Excuse me, onto the Berries bullets. The Extreme bullets, we're going to color them green. And green and blue look pretty similar sometimes. So we're going to color all the Extreme bullets green. And then we're going to color all the Berries bullets red. So we have a good contrast in color. All right. So that way we know. And then from there, we're also going to put them into separate bags. So that we also know through the bags that one is one, because we don't want to get them mixed up. I mean, we took all the time, you know, to run right through this. We took all the time to make sure that all of our cases were uniform. We took the time to make sure all our bullets were uniform. We took the time to make sure that all of our powder was uniform. We took all this time into making these rounds being as perfect as they could be, even for a range load. So in doing so, we don't want to mess it up now by having incorrect bullets coming out of the gun. Also, I have these little stickers, they're not really stickers, that I've printed off right from Reading that I write on here. Pen. Okay, then what I'll do is I'll write right on here what we used. I will also take the Sharpie and the ones marked green, I'll put a little green mark on it, and the ones marked red, I'll put a little red mark. So it's just a way of identifying the bullets when we get out to the range. All right, that's the video. We've now reloaded the ultimate range ammo. We're going to find out if on the range if the extreme bullets are better or the berries bullets are better. So this is going to be a race now between the extreme bullet and the berries bullet. They're both loaded with the same powder, they're both loaded with the same primer, and they're both loaded with the same overall case length. So I can't wait until it quits raining so we can get out there and do some testing on these. All right, guys, appreciate you watching. If you like this video at all, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're not a subscriber, please go ahead and subscribe because there's more to come. Thanks again.